Welcome back to another massive Ron Burgundy episode. I'm hoping to make some really good progress on this car. Well, I kind of need to because it's booked in to go down to King Fab Customs to get all of the pipe work done, which is going to look freaking mint. As you can tell, we have no guards, no grille, no headlights. Got some really nice custom ones from Tech4Tourers going in. And then I've also got a roof rack that I want to put on in today's episode. But yeah, we are nearing the end of this build. I mean, not the end, but we're nearing the end of getting this car onto the road.
Hurry up, asshole!
Proudly supported by Superior Engineering, iTech World, and in part by...
Right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is start fitting up all the belts. Now, I actually lost my pulley, so I got this off a mate, Joel, so thank you, Joel. But this way I can actually run the car for a little bit longer because we're going to have coolant going through the thing. Right, that's a fan done. Now I've got to do all the belts. I've got to remember which one's which. Right, now I may as well finish off the power steering and fit up the hose with the banjo bolt. It's going to be super nice to have power steering back. Have to bleed that a little bit later on, but that's power steering done. Also, a quick shameless plug of the old t-shirts here. If you guys want to grab a Roam Life tee, these are available on the website now. They fit super good. They're really comfy. They're nice to work in. There has been a few orders, so if you're one of those people, a massive thank you to you. None of this would be possible if you guys weren't supporting me, watching the videos, liking, commenting, and buying the merch. So massive thank you. And yeah, if you want to grab a shirt, check them out. I'll have a link in the description below to my website. Right, so that is the power steering all done. So you can see the low pressure and the high pressure hose. I did bend these fittings out of the way just to kind of tuck that hose in nice and flat because we're going to have an intercooler pipe coming around to our front mount. Now I want to get the radiator in, which means that I'm going to have to tuck all this harness up because I've kind of just left it. And over here, this is all going to have to get P-clamped up along that inner fender so it looks nice and neat and doesn't rub on the wheel. We are running some custom headlights that do require some power. I did already preemptively run some wires through the loom. So that is ignition power there for the headlights. So as long as I leave that exposed, then I can go ahead and zip tie the rest up, use some P-clamps and just make it all nice and neat. So I did go ahead and spray paint this black the other day, so it looks nice and neat in there. Right, so now that they're in, I can go ahead and start mocking up the front mount intercooler. So I've taken the fan off the condenser there because it's just not going to fit. And that's pretty much going to have to go as far back as possible. It just kind of sits in there like that. I'm going to do custom brackets and then we'll have to try and fit the grill over the top of it. And I assume that I'm going to have to cut the grill up just a little bit to make this fit. And then this will come back like that. Then I'll just have to weld across the top. I'm trying to space it out enough too, so our silicone couplers aren't going to rub on these mounts here. So you kind of got to have enough space to get those on. It doesn't have to be pretty, but it does have to work. That's pretty flush and level and enough room for the couplers. That's sick. I might just fully weld it while it's on there. It's been a couple hours since I last seen you guys, probably been about 3 hours. My little microphone here died and I had to put it on charge. So I've just been powering away at this and trying to knock it out. Now the intercooler is mounted up and it feels really friggin' sturdy. The thing is definitely not going anywhere, especially because I just said that. The bottom mounts turned out pretty sick as well. So that is, you know, pretty simple, but works well. Now I went ahead and tried to fit the grill a couple times and I was doing some trimming and whatnot, but I ended up cutting a shitload out of the grill, which I'll show you in a sec. But I had to also slot these holes here just so I could push the intercooler back. You guys definitely get the short version on YouTube because I have had this intercooler in and out about 30 times now trying to make it fit. But ended up just getting a grinder out and knocking the center out of here because I needed the clearance. It definitely wasn't going to fit, and I was getting over it. So I just cut that out, and I don't think it's actually going to look that bad. I think it'll look quite good, especially with this big intercooler shining through it. Now for the headlights, I've got these black turbines from Tech4Tourers. These things are super nice. Have a go at that compared to a stock one, which is that. You got that. They're going to be way brighter. They're going to have custom LEDs so we can make them all different colors and all that party stuff. But I need to get the housing off this, put it on that, then we can go ahead and wire these up. If you guys are chasing a pair of custom headlights, they do a bunch of cars. Tech4Tourers is a place to check out. I'll have a link in the description below. I can't wait to get these on, so let's do it. Right, I'm just going to run a tap through all of these threads because I have painted this car, so they'll be full of 2K paint. Now that is it for wiring. Like, that is so simple. We've got two indicators left and right, and then we've got our positive and negative to hook up to the lights, and that's literally it. The rest of it is plug and play. So I might get this mounted up before we whack the grill on, just in case I want to hide it behind the grill somewhere. Now there is a few different ways you could wire these lights up. I'm wiring it to ignition. I've already ran this ignition wire earlier on, but you could just hook that up to the parkers so that when you turn your parkers on, the DRL comes on. So just wire it all in and then we can test them. All right, so that wire there is that blinker. That means this wire here is that blinker. So I can go ahead and wire those in now. How good does that look? It really modernizes the whole car. Got the wiring all nice and neat and really happy with how that is. I've gone ahead and downloaded the 2 apps on it, and we're ready to finally test it. So I'm going to go hit the ignition on, and then we should get all these lights turning on. All right, so they should work now. Oh yeah, that looks sick. How much better does that make the whole car look? Really just modernizes the look of it. And I haven't had headlights on this car for ages, so it's really nice to see. I've got both the apps downloaded. Now one is going to change the center, and then the other one changes the outside turbine. But you can see you get this kind of color wheel here, so you could go crazy. You can put whatever colors you want. I'm probably just going to stick to a white just to not attract the police. All right, so that's what they look like, all white. But for now, I am going to be running a demon eye. So come along and press red. And then that changes it to that, which looks so freaking nice. So like I said, if you guys want a set of these, jump onto Tech4Tourers website. Link is in the description. and get yourself some really nice looking lights. So now I can move on to fitting the grill, and we can see what it all looks like together. I've got these little clip things off eBay. They're like a bolt and screw. They're much better because the plastic clips that are on GQs are garbage. So I'll get these fitted up into these little square things here, and then we can go ahead and mount the grill. All right, just whack the fender on just to give a little bit of a sneak peek into what it's going to look like. Now the bonnet, I can't put the bonnet on just yet because I had some paint cracking and I'm getting that fixed. But yeah, this is looking absolutely insane now with the lights. So in this box here, there is a nice roof rack from Design Studios Tuff Fab. Once again, I'll have a link in the description so you guys can check these out. But what we're going to do is just quickly lay this out on the ground and then start getting to installing so we can just lift it up in one piece. So we've got the roof rack laid out on the ground and we're pretty certain we know what's going on. It comes with obviously all your fitting instructions and all the extras that we're going to need. So far, really impressed with the quality. This is a full aluminium rack, so you're not going to get any rust like you typically would with a steel rack. And the other really cool thing is the rail is the length of the car. So this part here is the rubber that's going to sit in the gutter, and because that is the same length as a GQ, it's not going to put unnecessary load on that gutter.
Quality looks really good, and aluminium, lightweight. What can go wrong?
That's the roof rack done. That honestly wasn't too bad at all, eh? What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's easy as.
One thing I do really want to try is I want to see what the GU would look like with a roof rack on. So Harry and I are actually just going to lift it up there. It may not fit. I think they are a little bit different, the roofs on these, but at least I can sort of judge what it's going to look like a little bit and then possibly order one for this, because I think it is missing a roof rack.
Well, it is pretty much a tourer, so it does look good with the roof rack.
Yeah, it's too wide. But at least I can come over and have a look what it looks like on your side. It looks sick how low it is there. It does look good on this side though, look. Even though it's hanging over, it looks cool with the roof rack. What do you reckon? Roof rack? No roof rack? Kind of on the fence about it. Oh well, let's take it back off and get it on the GQ. Get on the right car. That is heavy. It definitely makes a car look a heck of a lot higher, and that windshield up there is such a good idea. I've got it pressed down onto the roof, so it's really going to seal that roof and not make any wind noises, which is great. Obviously super useful to have a roof rack, especially on a wagon. You can put swags and rooftop tents on, whatever you want to do. I'm personally thinking we do some lights up the top here, some lights at the back, and then maybe a 270 awning so we can go to the beach and pull it out. So big shout out to Tuff Fab. I will leave a link in the description below to check them out. Like I said, I've never seen one of these on a GQ before, so it's really interesting and a little bit different to see. But yeah, if you guys want one, definitely check them out. I think they look really good. It's really easy to put together too. Obviously, we've still got to mount it to the gutters, which we're going to do now. But yeah, looks mint. Right, so I've gone ahead and put the mounts on and tightened them all up. One thing I'm super impressed with is how this mount is made. It's not actually pulling on the gutter too much, which a lot of roof racks do. So that is good. You can see my gutter is still really straight and I've got all of them nice and tight. So this thing ain't going anywhere. So I want to get the fenders properly bolted up. So I've got to get this wiring harness and P-clamp it back. I've also got to kind of tidy up this bit. I've just put screws in them. I want to do proper riv nuts, mount everything properly. Then I can put the fender on. And then I think we're not far away from this thing being sent off. If you haven't used a riv nut tool before, these are awesome. They're basically a rivet that leaves a thread so then you can use a bolt. These come in handy when you can't get to the back of it to put an actual nut on. The tools are really cheap and the actual riv nut itself is really cheap as well. So I've been using them a lot lately. So you can see they are all threaded now. So I can go ahead and refit everything, and I've also done an earth one there. Right, they are all mounted up. Now, one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is the water coming out of this. So when it rains, it goes down your windscreen, into your vent, comes down and flows out of this. So I'm gonna quickly make a little diverter just to divert that away from the electric. That's that done. It's not perfect, but it should work. Right, that's pretty much the wiring harness done. I have P-clamped everything up. I've also made just like a little shield here that is going to protect it just in case any rocks were to fling up, but there is also an inner lining inside of the fender. So I don't think we're going to, but the shield's there just in case. I'm now going to put this guard on, but I'm not going to put it on 100% properly just because I think Matt from KingFab might even take it off. Right, so the fender is on, the car is looking a lot more complete, but there is one more thing that I want to do today, and that is in this package here. Now, I've had these rain weather shields for a very long time, and today is the day that they finally go on Ron Burgundy. I run these pretty much on every car just because I like having the window down and they protect you from the rain. And this one's broken. I've only just realized. Must have been broken in the mail. Do I still put it on? I think I will. Right, now that's one side all fitted up. It's a shame about that damaged part, but yeah, still gonna run them for now anyway. I think they look great, and then when we get the tint done, this thing will all blend in nicely. So that's that done. Now let's get Ron Burgundy out of the shed so we can take a look at this outside fully complete without the bonnet. Right, the car is out of the shed and holy crap, it looks freaking amazing. I don't have much room because the GU is obviously broken and I can't move it, but holy crap, looks freaking mint. Now, made some huge progress in today's episode. We've done a lot of work, headlights are in, grills in. The whole car is pretty much now ready to send to Matt from KingFab Customs. Obviously a roof rack on now as well, which is going to be awesome. This thing is going to look insane when it's finished. I got all the bar work here from Star Crew Industries that is ready to be painted and ready to go on, which I'll do when the car comes back from Matt. And then I'm just in the process of fixing up the 79 bonnet that we made. So hopefully I can get this back on there soon, but I just had some paint cracking in 4 different spots. So I'm just going through that, sanding it up, and I'm going to repaint the whole bonnet. I'm not filming it because it is not fun and I just want to get it over and done with. Once the bonnet goes on, it's pretty much the look of the car complete. I mean, obviously bar work as well. Let me know what you guys think about the headlights and the roof rack and the whole car in general. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.